Picture this. You're juggling a mess of a day, work's piling up, your phone's buzzing, and you're one spilled coffee away from losing it, when someone steps in, quietly sorts it all out, and leaves you wondering how they did it without even breaking a sweat. That's Virgo in a nutshell, and if you've crossed paths with one, you've felt that magic. But there's more to them than just fixing your life or spotting a typo from across the room. Today we're uncovering what makes Virgos so special. 10 personality traits that shape who they are, from the way they care to the quiet strength they carry. Whether it's you, a friend, or someone you're still figuring out, this is going to shift how you see them. Stick with me because we're going deep, and by the end, you'll realize Virgos are the unsung heroes you didn't know you needed. Let's dive in. So let's kick off with something you might have noticed if you've got a Virgo around. They see the world like a puzzle waiting to be pieced together. It's not just about noticing a chipped mug or a crooked picture frame. It's this uncanny ability to spot what's off and make it right without fanfare. Take my friend Sam. She's a Virgo, and one time I was scrambling to prep for a work presentation. I was a wreck, papers everywhere, and she just strolled in, picked up my scattered notes, rearranged them into a coherent flow, and even suggested a color scheme that made my slides pop. She didn't brag about it. She just handed it back with a shrug like it was nothing. That's Virgo's superpower. They don't just see the details, they turn them into something useful. It's not random. It comes from a place of genuine care. They're not hovering over you to judge. They're doing it because they've decided you matter. Have you ever had a Virgo remember some tiny thing you said weeks ago, like how you prefer your tea or that story about your childhood pet? That's them storing those bits because they value you. Another time, Sam surprised me with a handwritten list of books I'd mentioned wanting to read, complete with a note about why each one fit my mood. It wasn't a grand gesture. It was her way of saying, I see you. That's trait 1, a laser-focused care that makes you feel noticed in ways that stick with you. Now let's talk about their mind. Virgos are thinkers, the kind who can unravel a knotty problem while the rest of us are still staring at it. They've got this analytical edge that's almost surgical. I saw this with Sam when our team was stuck on a project deadline. Everyone was throwing ideas around, but nothing clicked until Sam stepped in. She broke it down, mapped out who was doing what, identified the bottlenecks, and came up with a timeline that saved us. It wasn't just smarts. It was this practical, no-nonsense approach that turned a mess into a plan. Another example, my cousin Lisa, also a Virgo, helped her roommate budget when rent went up. She didn't just suggest cutting coffee. She analyzed their spending, found small savings like unused subscriptions, and built a spreadsheet they still use. That's trait 2, a razor-sharp, problem-solving brain that grounds big ideas in reality, making them the go-to when you need a lifeline. Here's something that might not hit you right away. Virgos have this quiet strength that holds things together when the world feels like it's falling apart. They're not the ones shouting for attention, but they're the backbone you lean on. Sam showed me this when her dad got sick a couple years back. She didn't make a scene. She organized doctor's appointments, cooked meals for the family, and kept everyone updated, all while juggling her own job. I asked her how she managed, and she just said, someone had to. That's Virgo resilience. They step up, no questions asked, and carry the weight without asking for a pat on the back. Another friend, Mike, a Virgo, did the same when his neighborhood flooded. He coordinated with neighbors to move belongings and even fixed a broken pump himself. That's trait 3, a steady, unassuming strength that lifts others up when they need it most. Let's get into their work ethic, because Virgos don't just show up, they excel. They've got this drive to leave everything better than they found it, and they'll put in the hours to make it happen. Sam once stayed up all night to finish a report for our team because she wasn't happy with the first draft. It had a few typos, and that was enough for her to redo it. When I asked why, she said, "It's not good enough yet." That dedication isn't about proving anything to anyone. It's about their own high bar. Lisa, my cousin, took it further. She turned a part-time gig into a full career by mastering every aspect, from client emails to design tweaks, all because she wanted it to reflect her best. That's trait 4, a relentless commitment to excellence that pushes them to outdo themselves, even in the shadows. Here's a trait that might catch you off guard. Virgos are empathetic in a way that's all their own. They might not rush to hug you when you're down, but they'll sit with you, listen hard, and offer something concrete to help. Sam did this for me after a rough breakup. Instead of just saying, "You'll be okay," she helped me map out a routine. Morning walks, small goals, to get back on track. And she checked in every day with a quick text. That's their empathy. It's practical, tailored, and comes from picking up on your struggles through those details they notice. Another Virgo I know, Tara, helped a friend through anxiety by researching breathing techniques and teaching them step by step. That's trait 5, a subtle, action-driven compassion that heals in ways words alone can't. Now let's touch on their perfectionism, because it's a double-edged sword. Virgos want everything just right, and that can lead to incredible work, like Sam's flawless presentations. But it also traps them in self-doubt. I watched her spend an entire weekend redoing a sketch because the shading wasn't perfect, even though I thought it was stunning. That drive fuels their brilliance, but it can also make them second-guess every move. Tara once scrapped a whole project plan because one data point felt off, only to rebuild it better. It's not about being better than you, it's about hitting an internal standard that's sky-high. That's trait 6, a perfectionism that sparks greatness, but sometimes holds them back. Virgos are fiercely independent too, and that's a trait that stands out. They don't need a crowd to feel complete. They're content figuring things out solo. Sam moved apartments last year and handled it all herself, from packing to assembling furniture, turning down help because she preferred it her way. It's not stubbornness, it's a trust in their own ability to manage. Mike, the Virgo from the flood story, rebuilt his shed alone after the water receded, using YouTube tutorials and sheer grit. That's trait 7, a self-sufficient spirit that lets them stand firm, even when support's offered. Loyalty's another big one. Once a Virgo picks you, they're all in. They don't bounce from person to person. They commit, and that commitment runs deep. Sam proved this when I lost my job. She didn't just sympathize, she reworked my resume, ran mock interviews, and sent me job leads for weeks. Tara stood by a friend through a messy divorce, handling legal paperwork and emotional support without flinching. That's trait 8, a fierce, dependable loyalty that sticks through the toughest times. Virgos also carry this practical wisdom that's almost like a superpower. They cut through the noise with advice that works, not just sounds good. Sam once told me to break a big goal into tiny steps when I was overwhelmed, and it turned my whole approach around. Tara helped her sister negotiate a raise by analyzing market rates and practicing the pitch. That wisdom comes from their analytical nature and life lessons, turned into tools you can use. That's trait 9, a down-to-earth savvy that guides you when you're lost. And finally, trait 10, Virgos have this hidden creativity that sneaks up on you. They might not seem artsy, but give them a challenge, and they'll find a way to make it beautiful. Sam transformed our dull office with plants and art she sourced, calling it just practical when it was clearly a masterpiece. Tara redesigned her kitchen layout to maximize space, turning a cramped room into something functional yet stunning. That creativity stems from their problem solving. They see possibilities where others see walls. That's what makes Virgos special, a quiet, unexpected flair that adds magic to their practicality. So what's sticking with you? Did any of these traits make you see Virgos in a new way? Maybe you're a Virgo thinking about your own journey, or maybe it's someone like Sam or Tara in your life. Drop that in the comments, I'm all ears. If this hit home, give it a like, share it with someone who gets it, and subscribe for more dives into what makes each sign unique.